Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Hi, I'm Sandi Jerome, and I'm a huge Disney fan. And today we're going to look at some of the animals on the Oasis from my book, A Walking Tour of Disney's Zoo. And we're going to go to the right on the Oasis. Now, the Oasis kind of functions as a main street, like in the Magic Kingdom. And it's kind of where you kind of start out your theme park. And you can either go to the left, and that's towards Pandora. And you'll see people running that way if you come right at rope drop. But we're going to go nice to the right. And we're going to come up first to Reeve's muntjac deer, and then we're going to see the Babirusa pig. And then we'll take the trail to the left and we'll look at the Rhinoceros iguana and the wallabies. And then we'll go all the way across and see the anteater on the other side of the trail. Stay tuned.
Because at the end of this video, I'll reveal some of my first hiding places of my books being released into the wild with BookCrossing.
Bambi lovers will love these cute, tiny deer. They can also be one of the hardest animals to spot in their viewing area. They're a lot smaller than you would think, and they are often hidden in the bushes. Going up the right side of the oasis, right before the Babirusa pig, they are on the left side of the trail. Look for the sign, then look for a very small animal, often hidden in the bushes. These deer are only about 1 foot high at the shoulder and 3 feet long. They have stripe markings on their face. Their belly is lighter, almost white. That lighter color fur extends up to the chin and is also on the bottom side of the tail. Only the males have antlers about 4 inches long. The males will use their antlers to push enemies off balance and then bite them with their 2-inch upper canine teeth. The Reeve's muntjac got its unusual name from an employee of the British East India Company, John Reeve. It can be found mostly in southeastern China and in Taiwan, although it has now been introduced to some European countries and Japan. The Reeve's muntjac is often called the barking deer for the sound it makes when provoked. It likes to eat grasses, berries, blossoms, herbs, shoots, nuts, and sometimes eggs or tree bark. It prefers a solitary life and is active at dawn or dusk. The scientific name is Muntjac reevesi. With its distinctive snout and curved back, it's easy to see that the Babirusa is part of the pig family. The name Babirusa means pig deer in the Malay language. They got this name because of the long, graceful deer-like legs, and the males have curving tusks that look like deer's antlers. These tusks can grow up to 17 inches long. Disney's Betty the Babirusa became a star in Episode 3 of Disney Plus's Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom from National Geographic when they bred her to Mentari from the Tampa Zoo. About 155 days later, a darling new Babirusa piglet, Karina, was born. Betty and Mentari were chosen to breed through the Species Survival Plan, SSP, overseen by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. The SSP assures responsible breeding for endangered species such as the Babirusa pig. The exciting birth of Karina, which translates into sunbeam in Indonesian, was quite an accomplishment for Disney's Animal Kingdom. Related to the farmer's domestic pig, Babirusas differ because they have complex 2-chambered stomachs like sheep. They are omnivorous and will eat almost anything: berries, leaves, nuts, brush, bark, and even small animals. Babirusas are native to Sulawesi, an Indonesian island east of Borneo, and like to live in the rainforests and swamps. Unlike pigs that you see at the county fair that have 10 or more piglets, the Babirusa only has 1 to 3 piglets. Some think that the Babirusa might have traveled to other Indonesian islands by swimming, but man could have brought them there since they were bestowed by native royalty as a gift. They are endangered today, and in Indonesia, killing them is illegal. Betty and her daughter Karina are hard to spot because there is quite a bit of foliage in the enclosure. You can see Mentari on Secrets of the Zoo Tampa. He got his long tusks trimmed for his upcoming date with Betty. The scientific name is Babirusa celebenus babirusa. You'll find this beautiful iguana often sunning on a rock on your left as you start on this interior oasis trail. Look for the sign for the rhinoceros iguana. The rhinoceros iguana is a large lizard and is native to the Caribbean island of Hispaniola, which is Haiti and the Dominican Republic. They can be close to 2 to 5 feet in length, and their skin is anywhere from a gray to a dark green and sometimes brown. They like to eat a variety of plants, flowers, and fruits, but they'll also eat insects, lizards, and even snakes if the opportunity arises. The scientific name for the rhinoceros iguana is Psychoconura uta. When I started writing a book about all the animals of Disney's Animal Kingdom, I would visit the wallaby sign on the Oasis Trail but never see the wallaby. But then a cast member pointed the little guy out, and I was so delighted. But when I started this YouTube playlist of all the animals at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and I got probably about 30 done, well, the wallabies disappeared. The sign was even covered for years. But every visit, about once a week for 3 years, I'd look, and finally in May 2005, this year, they were back. Now, if you visit Dr. Mark at Disney on Instagram, you'll hear animal keeper Angela tell us that their names are Hugh, Chili, and Lolly. There's 2 females and 1 male. Now, I'll put the link to that Instagram down below. Now, they're only about 18 inches tall. That makes it hard to see. You're kind of looking for like kangaroo looking, but they're tiny, and they only weigh 15 to 20 pounds. This Tammar wallaby is the smallest of the wallaby species. It's native to South and Western Australia, and the Tammar wallaby is gray in color. They have a small head and large ears. Their long tail is thick, and they use it as a base. They have the ability to retain energy while hopping. Each hop returns energy back into its tendons and recoils with a recoil effect. The Tammar wallaby is most active at night, and that's probably why it's hard to see them sometimes during the day. And they eat mostly grasses. They also eat plants, up to 24 different plant species, and they've even adapted to be able to drink seawater. Now, my first actual look at a wallaby happened a few years ago while I was in Australia, and I thought if I combine that name wallaby with one of my favorite first names, Wilma, from both the Flintstones, and Wilma Mankiller, the first female chief of my tribe, the Cherokee Nation, I'd have a great character name, Wilma Wallaby. I wanted to write a book about a girl detective, and I originally set it at Disney World and called it Pixie Dust Death, which is still available on Amazon. But then after working with a producer in the UK to develop this into a kids series, he suggested I rewrite it to remove the Magic Kingdom and the Grand Floridian, where it takes place, to avoid issues with Disney. So I invented a theme park in Florida called Castle Country. So if you want to read this young adult book set at Disney, order Pixie Dust Death on Amazon. Most of my views of the giant anteaters at Disney's Animal Kingdom have been of Annie's or Callie's bushy tail as she is curled up in the far right corner sleeping. There are 2 of them, and you can tell them apart when they are walking around because Callie has white boots. You most likely won't see them together, only one comes out on display at a time. The anteater likes to sleep during the heat of the day, with her huge tail covering most of her body. This native of South America lives in the Amazon basin and the grasslands of Paraguay and Argentina, but can be found as far north as Mexico. With that long nose, the anteater can smell ants, and as the sign says by the enclosure, can gobble up as many as 30,000 bugs a day. Their tongue is extremely long, greater than the length of their head. They don't have any teeth, but use those claws to dig into termite mounds. That lovely fur protects them from counterattacks by the insects. With humans around, the anteater tends to be more nocturnal and can live up to be 25 years old. They have one of the lowest body temperatures of any mammal. They can turn the heat down to stay cool during the hot days, but turn it up at night when they go hunting for bugs.
So that's the first 5 animals at Disney's Animal Kingdom. If you're watching this video because you watched my short, I have been hiding my book, The Amazing Animals of Disney's Animal Kingdom, also published as A Walking Tour of Disney's Zoo, all around Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, and in the Animal Kingdom too, as part of BookCrossing. If you've never heard of it, BookCrossing is the act of releasing your books into the wild for a stranger to find, or via controlled release to another BookCrossing member, and tracking where they go via journal entries from around the world. This community of over 1.2 million passionate, generous book lovers is changing the world and touching lives, one traveling book at a time. I'm also reducing the price on all these books. There are a few different versions. Because after Tropical Americas opens next year, I'll be writing a new edition. So the paperback will be $6.99, reduced from $11.99, and the Kindle only 99 cents, and free with Kindle Unlimited. In the meantime, the animals don't move often, so find a free book and find the animals. This book puts them in walking tour order, so it will be easy to say that you found all the amazing animals at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Click on the playlist and you'll see some more of the animals you're looking for.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.